Okay, we still have h and we still have k to find. We need to know what h is and we need to know what k is. We know that the coordinates of the center is minus h and minus k. But we don't even know what the center is yet. But we have a formula that we could use. We know the midpoint formula. Why are we using midpoint formula? Because the center, this point right here, just do it in red, this point right here is exactly in the middle. My diagram, my little sketch doesn't look like that, but the center is directly in the middle of the diameter, right? And we know that the formula for midpoint is x1 plus x2 and 2, comma, y1 plus y2. On this answer, when I sub in the values and all that, I'm going to get a coordinate. This right here, this would turn out to be my x coordinate, and this would be my y. That's how my answer. That's what my answer would look like. My answer would be a coordinate. Right. So let's erase. Again, I want this to be my x. Wait, where's my? Again, I want this to be my x2, y2, x1, y1. So the formula, just sub in the values. So x1 is minus 1, so that's minus 1 plus 3 and 2, comma, y1, that's 4. So 4 plus 2 and 2. Minus 1 plus 3, that's 2. So it's 2 and 2, comma, 4 plus 2 is 6 and 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this, the midpoint, which is the center in this case, so center, this point right here, the center of this circle is equal to 1, 3. So 1, 3. That's the coordinates of the center. But this, remember the center is minus h and minus k. So that means minus h is 1 and minus k is 3. That's not what we want. We're looking for h and we're looking for k. Anybody who doesn't know why, eraser. Okay, let me just erase the topic. Why are we looking for h and k instead of minus h and minus k? This is why. They want the equation of the circle. Equation of the circle. You could write it in the general form or the standard form, but usually when they just refer to the equation of a circle, most likely they want it in standard form, but both would be correct actually, right? The standard form is this: x plus h squared plus y plus k squared is equal to r squared. This is why we want h and k. Because in the equation, it has h and it has k, not minus h and minus k. So if minus h is equal to 1, that means that h has to be equal to minus 1. And if minus k is 3. That means that k is minus 3. Everybody understands that? You understand that? Yes, no?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now we have H, we have K, and we have R. So all we have to do is sub it into the standard form of the equation of the circle. So you put back your bracket, x plus h, so just put your minus 1 squared plus y, k is minus 3, so put minus 3 squared is equal to r squared. We said r is the square root of 5, so r squared square root of 5 squared. But this could be written as, let me use blue, and this would be my answer, x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared root 5 squared, so the square root of 5 squared, that's the same as the square root of 5 times the square root of 5, which is equal to 5. There's a rule you would come across, this in surds. Root of a times root of a is equal to a, or you might see the root of a squared is equal to a. For people who didn't do that already, you'll come across this equation in surds, so don't worry. Eraser. Should I show you this? Yes, I should show you this. Let me just erase this. For the people who didn't do surds or didn't see this equation in their life, let me show you now. So say a is 9. So I have the square root of 9 times the square root of 9. We know that the square root of 9 is 3. So this is the same as 3 times 3. But n 3 times 3 is 9. So a, the square root of a, times the square root of a is equal to a. Right. That was just to prove that, to show you. Okay, let's go back to the question. So the square root 5 squared, the square root of 5 squared is equal to 5. And this would be my answer. This right here. Let me put this in a box. Okay, that's not a box. But okay. You understand that? Yes, no?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
miss.
Okay. Next question. Oh my, I did not mean to do that. Okay. No, we didn't stay yet. This one. Wait, I think we did that one already. Okay, we could just do it again. Oh no, no we could. Okay, so you're doing this whole question. It's 2017, if anybody wants to know. Anybody finished with this question? Yes, no. Anybody? No? That's what you said, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's no.
Okay. Finish now?
Yes, miss.
Okay. All right, so just want to point out one thing first. We see in F here and G here instead of H and K. It doesn't matter. Those are just constants. It means the same thing. All right. All right, let's do this question now. No. Okay. Okay. First thing you want to do, write down all the information they gave you. So they gave you the general form. So y is x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 2y minus 20 is equal to 0. That's what they gave you. And you need to recognize that this is the general form. What they wanted you to find, what they wanted you to do, sorry, is to put this, so this is the general form. They want the standard form. So that's this. Plus y plus k squared is equal to r squared. If they want it in this form, the standard form, that means we need a h. So we need to find the value of h. We need to find k, and we need to find our r. But we don't know that yet. We only have, we only have this equation up here. We could find h and k though. Remember when on the slides told you that h is equal to the coefficient of x and 2. So whenever given the general form of the equation of the circle, you could find h by using this formula and k by using this one. Coefficient. Coefficient of y and 2. coefficient of x is the number that comes right before x. So in this case, it's 4, positive 4, positive 4. So that's equal to, let me just continue the green, 4 and 2. So h is equal to 2. Go put the 2 up here. K. K is the coefficient of y divided by 2. The coefficient of y in this case is not just 2, it's minus 2. So we put this is equal to minus 2 divided by 2. So k is equal to minus 1. So we put k is equal to minus 1. R now. We don't know what r is, but we know a formula to find r. We know a formula to find r when given the general form. We know that c is equal to h squared plus k squared minus r squared. We have c already. C is minus 20. Minus 20 is equal to h squared. H is 2, so that's 2 squared is 4. K squared minus 1 squared is 1. Plus 1 minus r squared. Minus 20 is equal to 4 plus 1 is 5. So minus r squared. That means that r squared would be equal to 25. And r would be the square root of 25, which is 5. You understand how I got 5 for r?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Eraser. If you want to, that's how you could write your work in there. Like put all you need on one side, on all the work on the next side, so you don't get confused. But it's what you find comfortable. Okay, so we know that h is 2, k is minus 1, and we just found out that r is 5. So now we can write it in the standard form, and we can get our answer. X plus h is 2 squared plus y, k in this case is minus 1. So that's minus 1 squared is equal to r squared. So 5 squared is 25. And that's why this is our answer, the blue. You good with that?
Yes, miss.
Okay. That's what they want to take it from. Oh no, the second part wanted you to identify the center and the radius. Can anybody tell me what they got for the center?
Miss, I got -2, 1.
Minus 2, 1.
Yeah, miss.
And what you got for the radius? Oh, wait, it's right there. Never mind, that's wasting time. 5. Okay. For anybody who doesn't know how you got -2, 1 for the center, let me use to recall the, oh my gosh, the center has coordinates -h and -k. We know that h is 2, and we know that k is -1. So to find -h and -k, if h is 2, then -h has to be -2. And if k is -1, then -k has to be 1. That's why this is the answer. Okay. Mhm. Okay. No, this one. Part B. Do part A for me, please. Let me circle. All right, so first thing you want to do, write down all the information they gave you. It told us at the center, so I'll just put C as the coordinates 5, 2, minus 2. And then they also told us that this passes through the origin. So we know that the origin has the coordinates 0, 0. Like I said, you could draw a small sketch if you want to. It's not necessary if you don't want to. So So note the center isn't the origin. Huh? The center is 5 minus 2. It just passes through the origin. So this is what that circle might look like. So say this is minus 2. And this appears. What am I doing? Wrong coordinates. Oh my gosh. So say this is 5. And this right here is minus 2. See, my point is right here. So this is my center. Said the origin. Let me use a different color to draw the circumference of the circle. So this is the center and it passes through the origin. So say this is my circle. So center is 5 minus 2. And there's a line connecting this center to the origin. So this green line right here is my R. And what they want you to do is find the equation of this circle. So equation of circle. We know that for the equation, we need a value for H, we need a value for K, we need a value for R. But we don't have any of the above. First, we could find the H and we could find the K. So let me use the center is 5 minus 2. But we know that the coordinates of the center is in the form minus H, comma, minus K. We're not looking for minus H and minus K. We want H and we want K. So if minus H is 5, that means that H has to be minus 5. So let me just put minus H is equal to 5. Minus H is 5. And minus K is minus 2. Minus K is equal to minus 2. But remember, we don't want minus H and we don't want minus K. We're looking for H and we're looking for K. So H would be minus 5. And since minus K is equal to minus 2, K would be equal to 2. Everybody following so far?
Yes, miss.
Erase. Now what we have to do, we need to find for R. We don't know what the radius is. But we know a formula, D, which stands for the distance between 2 points, is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we could find the length of R. Why? We have 2 endpoints. They told us that the center is 5 minus 2. And they also told us that it passes through the origin. So let me just put, that's right here. And that's the coordinates 0, 0. So we could find the length of R by just subbing in the values. So I want this to be x2 and y2. And I want this to be x1 and y1. Remember, they're interchangeable, so it doesn't matter. Okay, x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 0. So that's 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. Plus y2 is minus 2. And y1 is 0. So that's minus 2 minus 0 is minus 2. And minus 2 squared is 4. 25 plus 4 is 29. So the length of the radius is root 25 units. Everybody understand that?
Yes, miss.
Okay, let me know if you don't understand that. Now we have the values of H, K, and R. We could put it in the standard form. Can anybody tell me what the standard form is?
X in brackets, X plus H, close brackets, squared, plus, open brackets, Y plus K, close brackets, squared, equals R squared.
Good job. And all we have to do is substitute our values. So we put back the X. H is -5, so we got -5 here, squared, plus, put back the Y. K is 2, so that's +2 squared. R is the square root of 29. But remember the rule, square root of A times the square root of A. So AKA the square root of A squared. Let me just put this, is equal to 8. That means that, oh gosh, I know space. Oh, let me use yellow. That means that the square root of 29 squared, which is also the square root of 29 times the square root of 29, would be equal to 29. And that's why I'll put 29 here. And this right here in the white is my answer. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, miss.
Okay. Try this one for me now. Part I and II.